We take a look at the Eastern Conference playoff chase. Orlando 48-21 with the second best record in the East behind Cleveland, seemingly locked into that number 2 slot, while Miami battling to make the playoffs, vying for postseason position, a half game behind Charlotte and 1 game over Toronto. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Doug Collins. We'll be joined in a moment by Craig Sager. And on the season, this is the 4th and final meeting between Orlando and Miami, and the Heat have taken 2 of the first 3. Doug, how do you see the keys for tonight?
Well, Marv, I think both these coaches are looking for early energy. Miami's coming off a game the other night against San Antonio. They were down 29-14 at the end of the first quarter. They've had slow starts at home. Stan Van Gundy said his team has not been good in back-to-backs. The last time they played a back-to-back in here, Miami jumped on them 33-18 in the first quarter, never looked back. When you talk about defending the paint for the Magic, they've got to do a good job keeping Dwayne Wade out of that lane, keep him off the foul line. And the Heat have to do a good job on Dwight Howard. He's been in foul trouble in the 3 games, so they've done a good job on him. The 3-point shooting, the Orlando Magic first in the league. They average 30 points a game from behind that 3-point line. The Miami Heat are the 5th best defending the 3. And my 2 wild cards tonight are Rashard Lewis and Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley in the 2 wins, 19 points and almost 10 rebounds against this Magic team. And Rashard Lewis has not played well in the 2 losses, 9 points, 6 of 24. So those 2 guys to me are very critical tonight.
And a check of the Taco Bell starting lineups for Orlando. Dwight Howard, well rested after playing only 24 minutes last night in the win over San Antonio. Rashard Lewis shot well last night as he looks to break out of his slump. Vince Carter, 24 points, season high 8 assists for Miami. As you see up front, Jermaine O'Neal, Michael Beasley playing through a thigh injury, and Quentin Richardson, Carlos Arroyo, the starting point guard, and Dwayne Wade, the NBA's 5th leading scorer, averaging 25 per game. The officiating crew, Monty McCutcheon, Derek Collins, and Alandis Poole. The Orlando Magic, 9 wins their last 10 games, including an 8-game win streak. The 1 loss in that stretch Sunday at home to Charlotte that stopped the streak. While Miami has certainly picked up its play, Doug, they have won 6 of their last 8, including wins over the Lakers and the Hawks. Jermaine O'Neal knocks down the first shot of the night.
Well, this is a concern for Stan Van Gundy because Dwight Howard is going to have to guard a guy who likes to step out of that paint and shoot jump shots.
Nelson played by Arroyo. See Beasley right up on Lewis. Shot clock to 6. Good defensive sequence here by Miami, but Lewis was able to penetrate.
Well, they want to chase him off the 3-point line. He and J.J. Redick are 2 guys they want to put the ball on the floor, and actually he hurt them in the game they won. He had 8 of 14 from the floor, 22 points, and a lot of it was on those 2-point field goals.
Miami's last game was here at home this past Tuesday. They lost to San Antonio, trailing by as many as 26 in the first half. They did close within 4, but you never had the idea they were in it as Beasley misfires on a 3. That was just a flat night for the Heat. They shot only 38% from the field.
And Marv, they've had slow starts here. When you look at their numbers, they've had about 7 or so bad first quarters at home as Wade goes to the basket.
Michael Beasley on the follow. Beasley making his return the other night of the loss to the Spurs, just 3 of 10, 6 points after sitting out a couple of games with that bruised thigh. One-on-one coverage. You see Arroyo cheating over to help out. Nice drop step move by Howard.
Jermaine O'Neal is a good low post defender, but if Dwight Howard will take his time, Miami likes to come with a double team late. They like to get him bouncing the ball and then go attack him.
Talk about that first quarter the other night. They were down 29-14 after 1 to the Spurs. And then the Spurs go back-to-back, and they get blown out last night by the Magic in Orlando.
Tim Duncan, 1 of 10, his worst shooting game as a pro in that game.
And Howard was pushed. Dwight Howard looking to go baseline. Took the shove from O'Neal.
See what Howard's doing. He's taking his time and trying to see here, where's the double team coming from? You see Arroyo comes in there late, but takes a very poor angle. He has only 2 assists and 9 turnovers in the 3 games against Miami, so they've done a nice job double teaming him.
Tough pass, and then Howard thought it was fouled, but rejected by O'Neal. Richardson for three. Quentin Richardson shooting nearly 50% from downtown the last 9 games 2 weeks ago in a game that was broadcast here on TNT. Richardson hit 7 threes against the Lakers. Carter for 3. Carlos Arroyo back as the starting point guard. Arroyo will try to flip it, a bad cross-court pass, and here's Barnes. Barnes on the move and lays it home.
Well, Matt Barnes missed a game with a toe injury. They're happy to have him back. He's their feistiest defender. They're going to need him on Dwayne Wade, especially tonight with Michael Pietrus being out with a bad ankle. Matt Barnes is going to have to stay out of foul trouble. Otherwise, J.J. Redick is going to have to spend some time on him, as is Vince Carter.
Yeah, Pietrus hurt the ankle last night. Here's Wade. Fires one up, rebounded by Barnes. Matt Barnes actually had surgery on that toe just prior to his days at UCLA. Carter spinning his way.
Well, his game has really picked up. He had a very poor January, and then he has really picked up his level of play. He's become more aggressive, more assertive. Decision-making has been better.
He's come back from that sprained left shoulder. And as you say, his game has dramatically turned. Wade. Nice give and go between Wade and Arroyo.
Well, you know what he's doing, Marv? He's doing a good job of when he drives and kicks that ball, he doesn't give up on the play. He keeps moving, and that was a perfect example of that. He got the ball back, and he was wide open.
Here's Carter to the rim. He's stopped by O'Neal. Nice lead pass, and Wade puts it down.
So those are the kind of plays you can't give Dwayne Wade. Layups, dunks off the fast break, and the free throw line. You have to make him a jump shooter, and you have to make him take 20 shots to get 20 points.
The other night, Wade started slowly and then finished with 28 points. High man of the game. Howard. And O'Neal says he shoved me aside.
A little dislodged there with the left shot. I don't know how hard he hit him, but Jermaine O'Neal made it look like there was some contact there. But nice play by Rashard Lewis to give up that open jump shot to get his teammate a dunk.
How about Dwight Howard in the 3 previous games? You touched on it, averaging just 12 points, 12 rebounds against Miami. Richardson tries another 3.
In those games, he only took 23 shots. He's been in foul trouble. They've done a nice job double teaming him, so Miami's done a good job on him.
And in talking earlier with Eric Spoelstra, there's a rainbow 3 from Matt Barnes. He said one of the keys is that Wade has to go right at Dwight Howard so he can pick up fouls, and that was the case in a couple of the games against Miami.
That's why you've got to keep Wade out of the paint. Otherwise, Howard will be down on the bench once again, and this is what he brings, that shot blocking, which leads to fast breaks.
Crowd thought it was a goaltend. Carter able to lay it home.
Well, the Magic are sharp tonight. I mean, if Stan Van Gundy was concerned about the energy, that's not going to be a problem. You don't know whether or not they're going to win or lose the game, but it's not going to be because they're not coming out here energized and ready to play.
7-0 run for Orlando. They lead at 15-11. Here's Wade going right at Howard.
Is he strong enough to take the hit and finish? Dwight Howard got a little bump in there, and he was still able to power right through that.
Carter played by Richardson. Lewis, yes. Rashard Lewis coming off a 7 of 10, 20 points last night in Orlando, but he has really struggled with the shooting touch as of late.
Yeah, Rashard Lewis missed those first 10 games with suspension, still finding his way, but Dwayne Wade moving without the ball, gives it up. Orlando relaxes, knocks in the jump shot. And this is what he does. He gets out on the fast break and finishes. He's a one-man fast break. There's the bump. There's the finish. Wade with 3 straight field goals. And Orlando leads by 4.
100% you only from T-Mobile. And by Chrysler.
Welcome back to Miami. Right now, Orlando leads 17-13. Tonight, Miami Heat President Pat Riley and Managing General Partner Mickey Arison met with season ticket holders. Coach Riley promised to build a dynastic team. He said a team that we built for a dynasty in the mold of past Celtics and Lakers teams. Mickey Arison said he fully expects Dwayne Wade to re-sign with the Miami Heat when he becomes a free agent this summer. That will leave the team $21 million under the salary cap. Pat Riley said no guarantees, but he plans to sign another maximum free agent as well as another prominent free agent. He also said the team has their #1 draft pick as well as potentially Toronto's in the trade for Jermaine O'Neal. A very bright picture was painted for the Miami Heat, and if you're questioning the timing of the meeting tonight, tomorrow is the deadline for season ticket renewals.
All right, thank you, Craig. And Doug, this is basically the same team for Miami as a year ago. They did look at the possibility, you recall, of signing Lamar Odom or trading for Carlos Boozer as Howard is able to stuff. But the goal is to keep Wade and then surround them. 1 or 2 major free agents. Wade would not extend his contract, wants to wait and see what Miami does as Richardson is able to hit.
Well, it's sort of interesting there because I think free agents are going to sort of wait and see, is he going to sign here?
Right.
And then he's going to try to get guys to convince to come here. So it's sort of an interesting dynamics there, Marv. I mean, I think it's going to be important for him to sign first so players will know he's going to be here to play with.
But then is he taking a chance?
Oh, you know, yes, absolutely. I mean, it might be one of those deals you do both at the same time.
Is that possible?
I think, because they have the maximum money underneath the cap. I mean, I think you could do that.
You get both guys in the room. I mean, there have been situations. Remember Carlos Boozer in Cleveland. They had Elton as a traveling violation. Elton Brand and Baron Davis.
Yes.
It appeared they would be together, but did not end up in
That's
that
why
way.
I said it's a very ticklish situation. And you know Miami, I mean, obviously a great place. And you see there's the free agent destination, and there's the guys we're talking about. There's
nice
Carlos
shots.
Boozer.
Yeah. Carlos and Chris Bosh and Amari Stoudemire enjoying South Beach, which is certainly Mickey Arison and Pat Riley would say, I'll take one of those or 2 of those guys, but I would think within the salary cap, one of those 3 would do
and
it.
keep that guy. And you know what? They're counting on the relationship that they have built with Dwayne Wade through the years, winning a championship here. You see the free agents and some of the possibilities, but they're counting on their relationship that Dwayne's going to want to stay here. They did not go into the free agent market, like you said, this summer, Mark, and make what they consider a stopgap move where you maybe add a piece to the puzzle that's only going to get you to mediocrity. They want to win a championship, and they want to do it for a long time. And so they sort of roll dice, and we'll see how it plays itself out this summer.
Out of that list we saw, there are maybe 4 or 5 top-tier free agents. They want one of those, and I would subtract Dirk Nowitzki. I think he has made it clear that he is staying in Dallas.
And I think also, too, Mark, when you think about it, Pat Riley has always built the championship team around a big man. When they won their championship here, he had Shaquille O'Neal. And when he was out in Los Angeles, he had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Remember when he was in New York, he had Patrick Ewing. Came down to Miami and traded for Alonzo Mourning. So he has always felt the cornerstone is a center. And even Dwayne Wade is going on record as saying, you need a big man, you need a dominant center to win a championship. Question, are there any dominant big men out there? That's the big question.
Oh, nice move by Wade as he extends, and he is fouled. Dwayne Wade showing the lively legs here at the start. The foul is on Howard. That is his first.
That's what you have to do. He loves that middle pick and roll. And Marv, what he does is he creates space. See the space he's created. And now what happens, Rashard Lewis takes a very poor angle and he splits it. Dwayne Wade is probably the best guard in the league at splitting that little pick and roll at the top. And then what happens, he puts Dwight Howard in peril at the basket and picking up a foul by getting to the rim.
Magic up 21-18, just under 4 left in this first quarter as I look around the arena. And it is a sellout crowd, and we've seen this many times here in Miami. I know many of those season ticket holders may have hung back.
In the club level there, having
maybe having milkshakes.
A couple little drinks back there, enjoying themselves.
But it is a sellout, better than 19,000 turning out. Although, as you see the guys going up and down the court, you see all these empty seats. Here is Lewis. Also, it's an early start, so here in Miami, it can be fashionable to be late arriving. That's a possibility also.
When you look up and you can see everything up above, you know, those are the people who don't get to come to a lot of the games. Down the level lower here is the people, like you said, Marv, who are up and, you know, maybe not going to come down till after the first quarter's over.
And that'll be Miami ball. But those vanilla maltas are going very well.
That's what Seg's his report was too. So, well, they brought Mario Chalmers in the game here early for Carlos Arroyo, and that's done on purpose because they'll rest Wade at the end of the first quarter, and then they'll let Chalmers and Arroyo play together. Chalmers a combo guard, so they feel like he gives them a little scoring out on the floor when Wade is sitting.
And Joel Anthony has come on for Jermaine O'Neal. Wade working on Barnes. Rebounded by Anthony, goes right back up with it in the tip. Good second effort by Joel Anthony.
But if they get any kind of bench production, it makes them so much more effective. That bench can be a little anemic when it comes to scoring. That's one of the reasons why they struggle to put points on the board. So much is on Dwayne Wade's shoulders every night.
Anthony now defending on Howard. Anthony is a shot blocker. Ball is poked away. Shot clock to 5. Lewis missing on a three-point attempt. Game tied at 21. Richardson for 3. Yes. That is his second from downtown.
And believe me, Wade knows that Richardson's hot. If you take one little step to help, he is going to find Q. Q is shooting the ball. You talked about it. Miami's on a 7-0 run. He's got the quick release. And Dwayne Wade says, if I find him, chances are I'm going to get me another assist. Knocks down this long jump shot. Quentin Richardson, that's 2 on the night. Miami leads by 3.
Miami, where the Heat are vying for a playoff spot. They played well as of late. However, it has been a very streaky season. You look back, first 9 games, they win 7. Next 13, they go 4 up, 9 down. Next 6, they go 5-1. Then 2 up, 6 down. Next 7 games, they win 5 of 7. Then they lose 7 of 8. Next 5, they win all 5. And then they go 0-4. And here they are, the last 8. They have won 6 of the last 8 games.
And a very favorable finishing schedule. 11 games that they have of the 13 are against under 500 teams. So it's a great chance. We talked to Eric Strohlster before the game, and he said, we knew what we were going through early. If we could just get through that, we had a chance for a very, very strong finish.
Jason Williams has checked in. Shot clock down to 8. Barnes getting the step. Here's Lewis for 3. Yes. Rashard Lewis from downtown, and the Orlando Magic lead the NBA in three-point shots attempted, three-point shots made. That is why they are such a terrific come-from-behind team. And they've been down on a number of occasions and have come back.
And you throw in the fact that they're one of the better defensive teams. A lot of people don't equate defense in the Orlando Magic. They are a very underrated team. Is deep post position there, Dwight Howard. That's what Patrick Ewing really teaches him. Run out ahead of the ball, put your head underneath the rim, turn, seal, and look for the post position. Zoe did a good job of that when he played here, and Patrick Ewing also was a good runner for a big man.
Anthony on the foul. Good look also from Rashard Lewis to find Dwight Howard. National coverage of the NBA continues Friday on NBA TV. It's the Celtics and the Rockets starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. You can log on to NBA.com/NBA TV to vote for the Tuesday Fan Night game. Voting ending at midnight Eastern time this evening. And Sunday on ESPN, Spurs and Hawks followed by the Blazers and the Suns. Coverage beginning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Dwight Howard only a 60% free throw shooter.
You know, Marv, it's interesting. One of the things that I look at with Orlando, one of the things that concerns me is, other than Dwight Howard, they have most of their guys on their team take more threes than they do free throws. And I think come playoff time, Vince Carter, Jameer Nelson, maybe even Rashard Lewis, some of these guys are going to have to get to the foul line a little bit more other than just Dwight Howard.
As a team, they're at 73%, but that primarily because of the woes of the line by Howard. Down to 3 on the 4. Oh, nice move by Wade. He tried to bank it, and it's swept by Howard. Jason Williams in the open floor fighting J.J. Redick, who just came on, knocks it down from three-point territory.
J.J. Redick has had a terrific year for them. You know, it's funny, last year we talked to Stan Van Gundy in the playoffs. He said really the one thing that was keeping J.J. from playing more was he wasn't shooting the ball well. Well, this year he's shooting it well. His defense is continuing to improve, and he's an excellent post passer.
Chalmers for 3. Final minute, first quarter. Williams fighting Redick. Able to elude Chalmers and hits again. That's a 2. He had a foot on the line.
You can see the philosophy there. I talked about Rashard Lewis chasing him off the line. They want to do the same thing with J.J. A little pull up there. So 5 quick points in transition for J.J. Redick off the bench.
8 straight in all by the Magic. Nice pass from Wade, and Anthony is hit hard and fouled by Howard. That's his second.
And the one thing they have is with the Gortat coming into the game, they have a terrific backup center who doesn't get those kind of minutes normally, but Howard will be sitting down, and J.J. Redick, Jason Williams, he has a nice connection. He just hit a 3. This time he steps inside the line and knocks down that 2-point shot. And this Magic is a deep team. They go to that bench, and they've got a lot of different guys that they can put in the ball game. They can score. You know, Brandon Bass is starting to give him some minutes at that power forward position. I think Stan is trying to get as many guys as he can get ready for the playoffs, knowing he's going to need everybody.
Marcin Gortat out of Poland, originally a second-round draft pick of the Phoenix Suns. Orlando re-signed him. They had him for a brief time and were able to match an offer from Dallas. Gortat, as you said, played very well last year, particularly in that playoff run.
And he's a guy that will rebound, will take hard fouls, give you a nice little physical presence in there. And you know, don't go to sleep on him, too. He's a little bit of an underrated offensive player. He can hit a little bit of a jump shot, and he will attack that rim and look to dunk it.
Carlos Arroyo is checked back in to provide a rest for Dwayne Wade as Jason Williams sets up against Arroyo. 2-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Down to 5 on the 24. On a crisscross, Williams finds Lewis. The putback missed by Gortat. As time runs out in this first quarter, and it's a good one with the Magic up 29-25. Both clubs shooting well. We'll be back to Miami in a moment.
Welcome back to Miami. It's time for the Lincoln Coaches Corner. I'm here with Stan Van Gundy. And Coach, you told us before the game that 8 of your losses have come on the second game of back-to-back after defeating San Antonio last night. What have you seen here tonight?
Not a lot of defense played by us right now. Ball's breaking us down too much. We're not aware on Quentin Richardson's three-pointers. Just not a lot of defensive focus right now.
You said not a lot of defense. You had Quentin Richardson and Dwayne Wade had 18 points early in that quarter. After the last time out, neither one had a field goal. You must have made some adjustment.
No, I don't think that had a lot to do with us, Craig. I wish it did, but I don't think it did.
All right, thanks a lot. Back to you, Marv.
Stan refusing to take any credit. Second quarter is underway. The Magic up by 4. Redick from way downtown, rebounded by Haslam. So Udonis Haslam is up front with Jermaine O'Neal and Darrell Wright. Mario Chalmers, Carlos Arroyo in the backcourt. Haslam off the drive. Rebounded by Gortat. Jason Williams, J.J. Redick. They're at the guards. Gortat up front with Matt Barnes and Rashard Lewis. Gortat. Nice setup by Jason Williams.
He can score in there, Marv. You know, sometimes Dwight Howard goes out of the game. You have a tendency to relax a little bit, but that guy can be a very effective player.
10-1 run here by Orlando going back to the latter stages of that first quarter. Gortat not going for the footwork attempt by O'Neal.
See, he's a little bit tougher defensive matchup for Jermaine O'Neal, I think, than Howard is, because Gortat's tendency is he'll go out and play you on the perimeter. Dwight Howard wants to lay back, so O'Neal really wants to pick and pop and shoot that little jump shot, and you can see right there, Gortat really bodied him up and knocked that ball loose.
Vince Carter and Brandon Bass checking in. Brandon Bass getting the early call in the absence of the injured Michael Beatrice. Arroyo, little fadeaway by Arroyo with the shot clock going down.
Well, he's been for them coming over all the point guard troubles they've had this season. Chalmers started out there, then they've had Rafer Alston, Arroyo, and then Bass misses that little jump shot. But that's one of the areas they're really going to have to stabilize next year is who's going to be their point guard, and can he be a top flight point guard and play on a championship level team?
O'Neal with the fade, rebounded by Redick. Marv Albert with Hall of Famer Doug Collins. Craig Sager works the sideline. We are in Miami, early second, 2 minutes gone by. Nice little hook by Gortat.
See, this is a little bit different team for Magic. This is more of a power team. So with Brandon Bass, you're not going to play him out to the three-point line. He's more of a mid-range shooter. He made a nice pass that time to Gortat.
Shot clock is down to 7. Here's Chalmers for the opening. Gortat changed that shot, then on the back tap kept alive by Arroyo. Chalmers for 3. Mario Chalmers. In a second season out of Kansas, a second-round pick, who has had his ups and downs. As you mentioned, he started the season as the starting point guard.
He started all 82 games as a rookie, Marv. Started the first 22 this year and then went to the bench. It was late for some practices. They said, we're going to make you earn this spot, and he has not got back into that position yet. It's going to be a loose ball foul, but Arroyo, when we talked to Eric Spoelstra, Marv, before the game, he just feels like Arroyo is a better fit as a starting player. The energy he brings, the way he moves the ball out there with Dwayne Wade, and when they rest Wade, they can put him in the game now as a scorer. And there's all the point guards they've had since the title year. At some point in time, they're going to hope to be able to get a top-flight point guard. Arroyo is a terrific backup point guard on a championship team.
This ball foul was called on Udonis Haslem. Shot clock is down to 5. Good play by Chalmers, and last touch by Chalmers. So the Magic maintain possession with 4 on the shot clock.
Now this second unit from Miami plays a lot of zone defense. They're very active. That's what we've seen on the last few possessions. Orlando must recognize this.
Here's the alley-oop. Gortat uncovered.
You know, they beat San Antonio on a play like that. I don't know who, I think it might have been Dwight Howard got the play, but it was a sideline out-of-bounds play lob over Tim Duncan to beat San Antonio and Orlando, I think 2 years ago, that same play.
Arroyo once again. Meanwhile, Howard goes out after picking up a second foul. Gortat checks in. He's hit all 3 of his shot attempts. Intended for Bass. Carter on the recovery. Redick for 3. What a pass from Vince Carter.
Well, the Blue Devils are up the road in Jacksonville for a tournament tomorrow. They might need a little of that shooting.
Hey, they're involved with Arkansas Pine Bluff. They're very busy.
We better get that one tomorrow. It's a beautiful lob pass to Gortat, well executed. Perfect pass from J.J. Redick, and Gortat coming in off that bench doing a real nice job.
In Miami a moment ago, we were talking about the NCAA. Well, 8 players in tonight's game have gone deep in the tournament while in college. These 4 guys all reached the Final Four. Jamal McLaurin, Kentucky, Vince Carter with the Tar Heels, Udonis Haslem, University of Florida, Dwayne Wade with Marquette back in 2003, and then we have Jameer Nelson with that terrific St. Joe's team in 2004, J.J. Redick with Duke going to the Final Four, Daquan Cook with Ohio State, and Mario Chalmers with that enormous shot as his Kansas team won the national title in 2008. And how about Patrick Ewing and Bob McAdoo? Bob McAdoo, Hall of Famer. Patrick Ewing, Hall of Famer in their college days. McAdoo played in the 1972 Final Four at North Carolina. Now a Heat assistant and Magic assistant Patrick Ewing played in the 82, 84, and 85 Final Fours with the Hoyas of Georgetown, winning it all in 84. O'Neal got the step, and he's fouled by Gortat.
It's a great time of the year, Marv. Just watching today as preparing for the game, all the upsets early, the close wins and losses, some of the top seeds already out of the tournament, some of them holding on and winning in overtime. So just a great time of the year, and NBA playoff right around the corner.
4 minutes gone by in the second quarter, and That will count. Foul is on Gortat. The basket counts. And O'Neal will go to the line. Second foul on Gortat. You know, I was just taking a look at Patrick Ewing. What a beautiful suit that he has on. He has such excellent take. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, well, you know, we're there before the game, and he looks at you and he goes, Marv, you and I have the same suit on tonight. It's sartorial splendor right there. So
my question was, is that a good thing?
yeah, it's a great thing. In fact, I think what happened, all those games you used to broadcast from him, I think he picked that up from you, Marv.
Yeah,
just looking over at the scores table.
That's exactly what it was.
I think so.
I used to work on that drop step with him.
That fading jump shot.
Williams pops it back out. Carter passed on a three. Carter spinning to hand it to Bass. And Bass off the mark. Good box out. O'Neal was able to set up the rebound for Haslam. So the Heat within three. Following that 10-1 run by Orlando. Terrell Wright. Right over Carter. Banks it home.
He's an important player for their team. He came in the game the other night after missing 2 games with that DUI suspension. Had a nice little run. He was actually plus 13 points when he was on the floor. They need his energy and what he brings.
Carter for 3. Haslam rebound. Miami aggressive now on the defensive board. Defensive 3-second violation.
Defensive 3-second violation.
So Haslam will go to the line. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade is getting an extended rest. He went out late in the first quarter. Let's send it over to Craig Sager. Craig.
Well, Marv, more on extended coverage of Patrick Ewing. You mentioned that he was in 3 Final Fours. He goes, don't ask me any questions. I only remember one of them. That was my junior year. We beat Houston to win it all. As for Bob McAdoo, I asked him what he remembered most. He goes, hey, we won our last game. I said, you won your last game? I thought you got beat by UCLA. He says, yeah, but back then they had a playoff game to see who finished 3rd. And he said, we beat Louisville, so we won our final game.
You know, I forgot about those consolation games.
You know when I think that was changed? I think when UCLA lost to NC State and they were going to have to play that 3rd place game, Bill Walton did not want to play in the 3rd place game. I think right after that, they said, why have this 3rd place game after you've been beaten in the Final Four? Nobody wants to play anymore anyway.
That would be a very difficult game to play. Do you remember way back when the NFL did the same thing?
I do not.
That must be a little way back.
That is way back.
But they'd have a runner-up game.
How would you play that?
I don't see how you get the right mentality to get prepared.
That would be awfully tough.
Gortat picked up his 3rd foul, so Dwight Howard back on the floor. Howard with 2, and when he sat down, Gortat came on and played very well.
Mark, just to follow up with Wade resting, one of the reasons he's able to rest right now is because this bench is scoring some points. This group that Eric Spoelstra has out there is staying in the game, so you can give Wade rest so he can be strong for the finish. That's why it's so important for him to have help out there when they struggle to score.
Miami is up by 1. Williams with a catch and shoot for 3.
Jason Williams actually the point guard on that Miami Heat team that won the NBA championship.
They came from behind to beat the Dallas Mavericks. O'Neal is fouled. The Magic have hit 5 of 9 from 3-point land. Miami with 3 of 7 from long range. Carter on that foul. His first. Mario Chalmers will head to the line. A programming reminder, TNT Tuesday, a new series about living beyond the law. All new Southland. Tuesdays at 10, 9 Central. Only on TNT. Six and a half remaining in this first half here in Miami. Orlando up by 1. Orlando winners of 19 of their last 24 games. They're 48-21, second best record in the East behind the Cavaliers, who are at 54-15.
And Marv, you know when that really started to me was January 28th. They were down 11 at the end of the third quarter to the Boston Celtics. Came back and won that game by 2. And since that point in time, sometimes you have those games that get you jump-started. I remember Utah 2 years ago won a game right before the All-Star break, ended up winning 13 in a row. They'd beaten the Lakers. Sometimes you have those games that just jump-start you.
O'Neal with the block on Howard. And a foul is called. Jermaine O'Neal with the block shot of him. The foul is called on Chalmers.
Well, you can see what they do. When he puts that ball down, they run guys at him. This time it was just a straight-up play. You know how tough it is to block a jump hook like that? Jermaine O'Neal obviously slowed down a lot from all the leg injuries that he has had, but that was a terrific defensive play. And, you know, Marv, he's been very healthy this year when you think of Jermaine O'Neal. He's played 63 of the 68 games. He's thrown up some nice numbers this year, 7 rebounds, averaging about 14 points. He's done a nice job.
That was his third block of this first half. Oh, the pass broken up. Beautiful play and saved. Here's Wade with the lead. Darrell Wright broke up the pass and then was led down court by Dwayne Wade, who had just checked in.
Well, that's what he brings you. That spectacular play there, the length and the toughness on Vince Carter on that play. What a spectacular play.
Here is Barnes off the mark. And a timeout is called. Miami in the midst of an 11-3 run. There's the save by Wright. Ends up in the hands of Wade. And Wright ahead of the field puts it down. Real coverage by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com at a beautiful 61-degree night in South Florida. Miami coming from behind. They now lead at 43-41 for the Heat. This is game 5 of a 6-game homestand. They have defeated the Clippers, the Bulls, and the Sixers. They've lost to the Spurs the other night. And they're in the stretch playing 6 of 8 games on the road following a homestand. Howard turns and faces, goes to the driving hook. Rebounded by Darrell Wright. Just under 5.5 remaining in this first half. Royal set the pick. Wade with a gorgeous for Darrell Wright. Once again, as you said, he played so well the other night, providing a spark. This is a guy drafted as a first-round pick out of high school. It's his 6th year in the league. Block number 4 for Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, the energy right now is with the Miami Heat. They're on a nice little run. See if they can sustain this going into halftime. But Darrell Wright has been really the catalyst of that.
And an offensive foul as Nelson trying to go down the right side. And the illegal pick is called on Orlando. It's on Howard's third.
That time Jermaine O'Neal stepped in front of him, did not let him get to that deep post position. So once again, Howard with foul trouble against the Miami Heat. They played 4 times, and in all 4 games, he's really struggled with fouls. He's going to have to sit now. Gortat will be back in the game.
And Gortat playing with 3 fouls. Here is O'Neal over Gortat. Rebound and lost control. Again, Nelson very quiet in his first half.
He's not even attempted a shot yet tonight.
Here's Barnes for 3. Back tap nicely by O'Neal.
Miami doing a very good job rebounding the ball. Only 1 offensive rebound for the Orlando.
What a move by Wade! It froze the entire Magic team.
Well, Dwayne Wade is a totally different basis, and you can see his hitting level is so much better. He's playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. Marv, we saw him in the All-Star game when he was the MVP, how well he played. And this watch, he stops. It looked like he stepped on the foot of Matt Barnes. Finds Jermaine O'Neal for the dunk. Let's see if he steps on his foot here. Yeah, he stepped on his foot, caused him to lose his balance. He had the open shot, gave it up to Jermaine O'Neal, and right now, everything going Miami's way. He has 10 points in the ball game, 4 assists, and you can see his numbers, Marv. 740 points in the paint. That's why you got to keep him out of the paint. His second chance, one of the better offensive rebounders. You see 94 dunks. He's third in the league in fast break points on a team that averages 10 fast break points a game. He gets about 5 of them. He's a one-man fast break. But his game has just continued to pick up as this season has gone on. He's getting stronger, averaging over 30 points a game in the month of March, which is the best in the NBA.
And during the timeout is Jameer Nelson with his first shot attempt. Able to penetrate. During the timeout, we saw Jermaine O'Neal head back to the Miami locker room. O'Neal with 9 of his 11 points in the second quarter and 4 blocked shots in the first half, which equals his season high. White for 3. Rebounded by Barnes. Gortat sets the screen. Nelson way off on a three-point attempt, but it's kept alive, and Barnes able to follow the bank at home.
That was a great free agent pickup. Matt Barnes, he at that small forward position. He gives this team an edginess, a toughness, and they need that. And we saw him against the Lakers in a nationally televised game go toe-to-toe with Kobe and stuff. He's a guy that won't back down.
Here's Arroyo, and he has had the touch. Getting back to Matt Barnes, signed as a free agent after a year with Phoenix. Did a good job with the Suns. Nelson, Gortat surrounded, and he's tied up. They'll jump it up. I mentioned Jermaine O'Neal headed back to the Miami locker room. For more on that, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Marv, despite that great first half with 11 points and 4 blocks, during that timeout, he came to the bench and said, my feet don't feel comfortable. So assistant athletic trainer Ray Jaffet went back, and they are retaping his ankles. Dwight Howard probably wishes he would have come out in the first quarter.
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal has had an excellent first half. And the 2 big men for Orlando, Dwight Howard with 3 fouls. He's sitting on the bench, and Marcin Gortat, his replacement, also 3 fouls. Nice move by Jameer Nelson.
Jameer Nelson's starting to get that speed and quickness back. Marv, he came back from that knee injury, and it took him a while. And he's lost some weight, quicker to the basket, and they need that kind of penetration from him, either opening up the three-point shooting or that little floating drive that he just made.
He's missed a total of 17 games this season. Gortat did not expect the pass from Nelson, who has played through a hyperextended left knee. And at times, the knee's been sore, it's swelled up, but he says does not want to sit out.
Well, you think about it. I mean, Carter's missed 7 games. Rashard Lewis missed 10 to start the season. Jameer Nelson, they're just now starting to get into rhythm, I think, that they would like to have going into the playoffs. That's going to be a moving screen on Michael Beasley.
The ball back to Orlando as we come up on 2 minutes remaining in this first half for Miami. Just their first turnover on that offensive foul by Beasley over the last 14 minutes.
Well, their efficiency's been terrific tonight. That's what they want to do, take care of the ball, shoot a high percentage.
Nelson took a hip check from Chalmers, so the foul on Mario Chalmers.
When we talked to Stan Van Gundy before the game, Marvin, I was asking about, as a team is getting ready to go into the playoffs, any areas that he'd really like to continue to improve on. He said, defensively, playing against quick penetrating guards, do a better job on that, defend the three ball better. Last year they were 3rd in the league. This year they're 23rd. And then on offense, better ball movement and lower turnovers. Those are certainly the areas he wants to clean up going into the playoffs.
How about the 24 assists last night as Carter fires for 3 and gets the hop. Vince Carter from downtown. Orlando last night on the win over San Antonio, 24 assists on 37 field goals, and they have done the job again here this evening. 15 assists on 21 field goals. This is not a team that picks up a lot of assists. They're right at the bottom of the league. Wright was able to find Anthony, and Anthony lost the handle. Brandon Bass will come back. Checks in for Matt Barnes. Well, it looked like Barnes thought he was headed off, but it's Marcin Gortat who will sit down.
Well, they both have 3 fouls. You talked about that with Gortat and Howard, so they'd like to buy a couple minutes here without either one of their centers picking up their 4th foul going into halftime.
Brandon Bass, who does not get much playing time. Lewis having a bank at home, but Bass came over from Dallas, where he had been a valuable guy off the bench, and as you might expect, they're not happy about the lack of playing time, particularly the first half of the season. Wow. That counts for the foul. Wade able to go the lane, taking advantage. No big man on the floor for Orlando.
Well, you talk about splitting that pick and roll again. You notice that Dwayne Wade does very few pick and rolls on the wing mark. Most of the stuff he does is in the middle of the floor. And one of the reasons is that he can maneuver, find that open area, and then with that beautiful explosive move, watch him split the double team, hang in the air, and you talked about it, Marv, no shot blocking, the 3-point play opportunity. And you got to keep him out of the lane. There's the grab by Rashard Lewis. He's hit on the top of the head right there by Brandon Bass. And Wade stays down on the floor. You saw Mickey Ayerson in our picture a while ago, his son Nick, a little concerned look on their faces. That's their prize guy that they want to keep here to be a draw for another premium free agent to get this team back to the level of excellence they were when they won a championship.
So Wade on the line, he was shaken up. And Eric Spoelstra, who's okay, and is able to complete the 3-point play. Coming up, the T-Mobile halftime report. Ernie Charles and Kenny will have first half analysis from our Atlanta studios. Final minute, first half. Game tied at 52. Here's Nelson after taking a bump from Arroyo. He thought he was fouled.
See if they look for a quick 2-for-1 here. Wade loves to pull up and shoot this ball.
Well, this time he's on the move. He gets the call, and he'll head back to the line.
Nice play, 4-second differential. So unless something dramatic changes here, they should get the last shot of the half.
Orlando over the foul limit. And that was, of course, in the act. Miami. Next foul will put them over. So Wade 3 of 3 at the line, and you can see how well he has done in the previous 3 against the Magic. Miami winning 2 of the 3. Dwayne Wade, as we talked about earlier, just under 30 a game and shooting 53% against the Magic.
And the key there is, look at, he almost shoots 12 free throws a night. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Marv, my philosophy is you make a score like that, take 1 shot for every point, and you can see Dwayne Wade tonight has 15 points on 9 shots. That bodes well for the Miami Heat when he's getting that kind of efficiency.
3-second differential as this first half comes to a close. Carter trying to go all the way, and he's hit on the hand, and he will head to the line.
See, you're rewarded, though, when you put your head down and drive the ball to the basket. This is what Stan Van Gundy wanted from Vince Carter earlier in the year. We talked to Matt Gukas, the announcer for the Orlando Magic. He said that Carter now is just really getting healthy. He had a shoulder problem, struggled with an ankle a little bit. But, you know, Marv, you've been around a long time as I have. There's Matt. But when you're aggressive and you drive the ball to the basket and you put contact in there, you put the onus on the official to have to make a call.
And the call against Darrell Wright. The Magic with their first free throws in this second quarter.
Remember I talked about the free throw shooting, and you see Vince Carter there as his free throw attempts have gone down. That's when he was playing early in the year, drifting around, looking for that jump shot and really not attacking. And Mark, that's what I talked about before is the one thing, without Dwight Howard on the floor, this team does not get to the free throw line.
J.J. Redick checking back in. Richardson back on the floor. 8.5 seconds left in the first half. Game tied at 54. Down to 5 seconds. 4, 3. Nice fake by Wade. Not able to hit the three-pointer. He had Barnes up in the air, but could not connect. Good first half here in Miami. It's the Heat and the Magic tied at 54. Dwayne Wade, 15 points, 5 of 10 shooting. Jermaine O'Neal, 11 points, 4 blocked shots. Vince Carter is the high man for the Magic. with 11. Both clubs shooting well. Miami just under 50%, and the Magic shooting 55% from the field. Let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Dwayne, with every opponent making a conscious effort to keep you out of the lane, how do you continually find space to get in there?
First of all, my teammates doing a good job tonight of screening. Switching the screens and different things to get me in the paint. They know if I get in there, it's going to get them shots. So they're doing a great job.
You mentioned your teammates. Charles Barkley likes to call you Dwayne Wade and the Tito's, meaning Tito Jackson. What did you think of Jermaine O'Neal, particularly in that first half, how he played?
Well, Jermaine played great. You know, he played very aggressive, and we're looking for the same thing in the second half. You know, Charles just continue to say things and make himself relevant.
All right, thanks a lot. And we'll be back with Charles, Kenny, and EJ, the T-Mobile Halftime Report, after this break. Tito's, meaning Tito Jackson. What did you think of Jermaine O'Neal, particularly in that first half, how he played?
Well, Jermaine played great. You know, he played very aggressive, and we're looking for the same thing in the second half. You know, Charles just continue to say things and make himself relevant.
All right, thanks a lot. And we'll be back with Charles, Kenny, and EJ, the T-Mobile Halftime Report.
I like that from D-Wade. Nice little wink, too, to the camera. Trying to make yourself relevant.
That's my man.
That wasn't really a compliment.
It wasn't. Listen, I'm not going to talk about this team. You're battling for the 8th seed. You're not a good team.
And we'll see it next week when we get to do their game.
I would fight for it, too. Yeah, I know.
It's a 54-54 game at the break. Orlando at Miami.
I'm sorry, they're the 7th. No, they fighting for it.
The Heat, they're number 7 right now. The Heat have beaten the Magic 2 out of 3 this season, and right now that would be the first round playoff matchup.
That'd be bad for the Heat.
54 apiece at the break. Jameer Nelson was a central figure last year in the postseason, in part because he couldn't play, and then in part because
he still couldn't play.
Then they put him in when he really wasn't ready to do it. How does he figure this year?
I think, Ernie, you hit it on the head. I think he had an all-star year up until halfway point. And then all of a sudden when he came back, the expectation level was big, and I thought he wasn't ready. And even this year, I didn't think he was ready. But tonight is probably some of the things that you've been seeing over the last 2 weeks when I've been noticing the Magic, that he's been able to get to the rim. And he had never got to the rim in the first 2 months of the season, 3 months. And now this is a commonplace, him being in the paint. And that's what made him good and made him an all-star. Getting into the paint, finding people, and or shooting. Now he shoots the 3 and he shoots the layups. He has a different game than he does before.
In the middle, Dwight Howard, foul trouble in the first half. He's got 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 fouls. Jermaine O'Neal's been the story. 11 points, 2 rebounds, and a season-high 4 blocks in the first half.
Well, 11 points.
Season-high 4 blocks in the half. I mean,
okay, but listen, truth of the matter, when you watch Orlando play, the only time they ever get in trouble is when they start relying too much on the 3. When they get the ball into Dwight, he has really improved his game since in the last 2 months. He's played a lot better. He's shooting that jump hook a little bit more. He's facing up a little bit more. He's the guy who makes them go. He got in foul trouble, but they'll still win the game because they got a better team. They just got more weapons to Miami.
Despite all of that, Jermaine O'Neal does have 11 points and 4 blocks in the first half. Meantime, Dwayne Wade leads everybody with 15. And
I had 11 points one time. They cut me.
5 out of 10, and also has
me too.
4 assists. A week from tonight, Miami is at Chicago. We're going to be there to call the game from United Center. And if Chicago can win a couple of games, that would make that game that much bigger as they try to battle for the 8th spot. Right now, the 3 on the loss side behind Toronto are the Chicago Bulls.
Nice, kid. Let's go get some Chicago pizza. Ooh, that's gonna be good. I'm going to Harry Carey's place or Mike Dickens.
Michael Jordan still having a restaurant there?
I don't know.
Welcome to the T-Mobile Halftime Report. The new T-Mobile MyTouch 3G. 100% you, only from T-Mobile.
Game 2 of our doubleheader, New Orleans at Denver. Emeka Okafor.
Yeah, he does all of the young poses.
How about that? That's impressive. Those aren't easy.
No, those are not easy. I always worry about my 7-footer doing yoga.
Does that impress the Chucks? Good for flexibility, man.
Flexibility and keep you in there.
Hey, look at the folks at SkullCandy.com have sent our way. All kind of earphones and stuff. Headsets.
I might have to make some trade outs. I got some, but I'd like some of those over there.
Well, I got something over here for you too. Here's,
really?
Yeah, hand this down to the Chuckster right there.
This
And
is
this
Chuck.
one-
Hey, hand it to
Lakers.
the Chucks. Got a Laker one.
And I've got.
30. Who's this? What team is this? This is Oklahoma City.
It kind of looks like Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Mine kind of look
it's
like.
Oklahoma City. That's Kevin Durant's number, Durant's. fool.
Yeah,
I
there it is.
understand that.
And I got some Kevin Garnett apparently.
Oh,
Why
can
don't
I get the Kevin Garnett? I'll trade you a Kevin Garnett for a Kevin Durant.
Yeah, you can. You know what? I'm going to do this thing and doggone it, and then I drop this set. So
Well, how
here
does
you
this
go.
thing work? Here you go.
All right, you ready? I want you to put these on because I got some music you guys can hear. Put these on, Chuck. It sounds great. You ready? Are you ready?
All right.
Here we go.
Pants on the ground, looking like a fool with your
Pants on the ground. Looking like a fool.
head turned sideways.
It's on the ground.
You know if you put these
on the
on.
ground.
Come on. Because we're not plugged in. You looking like a fool. Ernie's up on it. Ernie's up on it. That's the new version. Is that the
Sideways, pants on the ground.
No, see, I like the come on, man. Oh, what's my guys from Houston that did that? They did a remix. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. UGK. I think they did it. Underground King did it.
NBA TV Fan Night.
Nope. Nerd night. Who's it?
Fan Night.
Kevin McHale and Ernie Johnson. They're two nerds. Oh, see, Webb's not a nerd tonight? Nope, he's not a nerd. Oh, he's just a flip-flopper nerder.
You can vote until midnight tonight for the game you want to see
What game
Tuesday
was
night
that?
on
What game
NBA
was that, Ernie?
TV. That hasn't been determined yet, as a matter of fact. Time now for the T-Mobile MyTouch 3G. 100% you. Question of the night. Which is the better Magic team, last season or this season?
Ooh, I'm going to go with this season.
Because?
I think Vince Carter is comparable to Turkoglu. I like the addition of Matt Barnes and Brandon Bass. I have to agree with you. I think this season is a better team, but however, the league has gotten better. No, the league ain't got better. Yes, it is. The Cleveland's gotten better. That's the league. Yeah.
You know what? If you had asked me a month ago, I would have said last season.
Well, first of all, I didn't ask you. I would never ask you anything.
Well, since you asked, this season.
In Miami of the NBA on TNT is being presented by the United States Marine Corps. The game is tied at 54. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. And what a well-played first half that was. Each team led by as many as 6 points. There were 10 lead changes, 8 ties. Both clubs very, very sharp.
Well, Marv, a lot of energy on both sides, which I thought was terrific, and low turnovers. 5 turnovers for the Orlando Magic, only 4 for the Miami Heat. Both teams shot the ball well, so should be a very exciting second half.
All right, taking a look at some of the highlights of that first half. It was a 3-point parade, as usual, for the Orlando Magic.
Well, the Magic made 6, and they had 5 guys make at least 1. That was Matt Barnes. You see the little kick to Rashard Lewis, who loves that corner. A little drive and kick to J.J. Redick, who had 2 threes in that first half. Jason Williams with a corner 3, and then Matt Barnes with a drive and kick, and the friendly bounce here for Vince Carter as he gets a nice roll. So they were +9 from the 3-point line, and it was the energy and hustle of the Miami Heat. The great save by Darrell Wright and the 4 shot blocks of Jermaine O'Neal before he had to leave to get his feet retaped. He should be ready to go here in the second half. And then the magnificent Dwayne Wade, 15 points, 4 assists, and splitting that pick and roll like nobody else does in this business, finishing with a 3-point play. All tied up here at halftime.
Now look at the numbers in the first half. Orlando at 55% shooting. They go 22 of 40, including 6 from 3-point range. And Miami at 49%, 20 of 41 at the line. I should say 20 of 41 from the field. And at the line, 11 of 13. You see the 15 assists, as you mentioned, by Orlando.
I think the biggest concern right now for Eric Spoelstra is 14 field goals in the paint for the Orlando Magic, 28 points. They got to cut that down. What do you got, Craig Sager?
Not only did Jermaine O'Neal have his ankles retaped, but he said he had picked up a stomach virus yesterday, and while he was back there, he had an IV to replenish his fluids. That was why he was back there so long, and when the last to come out of the locker room now, he says he feels much better and ready to go. As for Dwight Howard, Patrick Ewing met with him and said, listen, Jermaine O'Neal is timing his moves. That's why he has the blocks. He goes, you have to give him the dream shake. He says, the dream shake? Yeah, he says, you know, like Hakeem Olajuwon used to do. You got to shimmy your shoulders, fake him, act like you're going up, and then put the shot up. So let's see if he learned quickly.
We'll look for that dream shake in the second half. Patrick Ewing facing the dream shake
Yes.
more times than he'd like to talk about.
Yeah, he saw a lot of that.
Miami Heat, 6 wins their last 8 games. They have had their difficulties at home. The home record is 20-15. They've done well as of late. They have won 6 of the last 7 here at home, but for the most part, they've played mediocre basketball here at home. It's their worst home record of the 9 teams vying for the 8 playoff spots in the East.
That means you got to try to go out and make it up on the road, which is a very difficult thing to do.
Offensive foul on the Magic. And that is number 4 on Dwight Howard.
Well, we talked about foul trouble, Marv. That's one of the keys we said coming in, that he's been in foul trouble in all 3 games. You can see sort of stick out his backside there just enough to bump off Quentin Richardson. So Dwight Howard's going to have to sit. Gortat has 3 fouls. But, you know, you could probably play him and leave him out there because Howard should be able to come back in the 4th quarter. So.
And we saw Dwight disputing the call. He has to be careful. He has 14 technical fouls. When you pick up number 16, it is an automatic 1-game suspension for everything over that 3-second violation is called. He's had out of the 14, actually, it was 16 at one point. He had 2 rescinded.
Yes. Well, the league looks at every technical foul. I mean, even if you don't call up and say, "Will you take a look at that?" They look at every technical foul, and they, like you said, Mark, they rescinded 2 of them.
Hey! Able to penetrate, rebounded by O'Neal. Eric Spoelstra with Arroyo and Wade at the guards. O'Neal up front with Beasley and Richardson. Another quiet game from Michael Beasley. Come back from the thigh injury. Nice lead pass from Wade and draws the foul. It is on Nelson. And now a technical foul is called. Marty McCutcheon did not like what one of the Magic players had to say. It is Jameer Nelson. And he picks up the tee.
Well, I think Jameer Nelson was upset. I think he thought he got fouled on that last drive to the basket when he tried that little floating shot.
Carlos Arroyo able to knock down the technical. Throughout the month of March, the NBA paying tribute to its more than 16 million Hispanic fans, 23 Latin and Spanish players with Noche Latina 2010. To learn more about Noche Latina, visit NBA.com.
I heard you. I'm done.
Jermaine O'Neal.
I don't have to hear the same thing 7 times. If you tell me what you just told me 6 more times, I'm going to get on
Mark,
YouTube.
before the game, I was asking Stan Van Gundy, I said, Stan, you know, like when you play against a team like Miami, I mean, maybe to keep Wade out of the lane, do you have a zone defense that you play? And he said, no, we really don't play zone. And you know, I think in a game like this, you could probably use that. But, you know, Stan is very adamant that he's going to play that tough man-to-man defense, and they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, so who can argue with that? But sometimes the zone gives you a little different look and maybe keeps Wade out of the paint.
And a bad pass. So the ball back to Miami.
So that's when Orlando gets himself in trouble, when they're careless. That was just an unforced error. And he just threw the ball over the head of his teammates. Already 2 turnovers in this quarter, and they only had 5 the entire first half.
Now that was an earlier season problem for the Magic. The excessive turnovers, and it has hit from time to time. Careless with the basketball. Here is O'Neal, rebounded by Gortat.
Those live ball turnovers, Marv, really hurt the Magic because they don't have great team speed, and so they can't get back and cover those.
There's Nelson with the runner. So Jameer has come on after a slow start. I remember several weeks back talking about the turnovers with Stan Van Gundy. I said, why all the turnovers for this club? He said, we're just not a great passing team. We get a lot of turnovers in our post game. That's a 3-point attempt. And as O'Neal rips it down, a foul is called.
And this graphic supports that, Marv. Look at the turnovers are. I mean, Howard, the assist to turnover. It's Howard, it's Lewis, Idris, it's Ryan Anderson, it's Gortat. The big guys that you spoke of, it's really not the guys who have the ball in their hands on the perimeter as much. It is their big guys making decisions and passing out of double teams.
Gortat picked up that foul. That's number 4. Nice move by O'Neal. Came up short. But Stan says we get a lot of turnovers with the big guys because sometimes we try so hard also to get the ball in the paint. Oh, like that. Whoa.
Right on cue.
I'm thinking, what are you doing? 2.5 gone by here in the third. Game tied at 56. They double up on Wade. Wilson tried to draw the foul. Arroyo, he's had the hot hand. Carlos Arroyo, 4 of 5 from the field, 9 points, along with 5 assists.
Well, Dwayne Wade got away with one there. He lowered his shoulder and got Jameer Nelson, and very fortunate did not get a foul called on that play.
Barnes able to go baseline. He's hacked by O'Neal. Jermaine looking for block number 5 and call for the foul.
Well, this is called a header right here in soccer right there. He was trying to go into the goal. Went off the backboard. You and I can laugh about it, but Stan Van Gundy's not very happy. I mean, Jameer Nelson throws a rocket of a pass about 6 feet away from Gortat.
That was a Sandy Koufax delivery.
I mean, he couldn't even get his hands up to protect himself.
Orlando 48-21 coming into tonight's second best record in the East. On the road, they've won 20. They've lost 14. They have taken 9 of the last 10, including an 8-game win streak.
Well, Stan Van Gundy said they're 40-13 when they're not in back-to-backs, which bodes well for the playoffs. Obviously, no back-to-backs.
O'Neal. Carter from straight away for 3.
Makes it look really easy, doesn't he, Marv? The game is so easy for him. Sometimes it looks like he's not working that hard. He's just such a talented player. And they're really going to need him to be a star in the playoffs. That's what they went out and got him for. They want him to be a star to go with Watt.
Oh, Wade with a beautiful move. He's able to split between their 2 Magic players, but the shot was off. Lewis for 3. Barnes with the good hustle, and it is deflected out. Last touch by Richardson of Miami.
See, Orlando's not a good offensive rebounding team for a couple reasons. First of all, they've got their guys behind the 3-point line, their 4-man and their other spot-up shooters. Secondly, they get everybody back on defense because they don't want to give up easy scores. So nice play that time by Barnes to give his team an extra possession, and they get 2 points out of it.
Vince Carter with 16 points. Miami takes a timeout. 6-0 run by the Magic. They're up by 2. 4 minutes gone by in the third.
Welcome back to Miami, where Orlando leads midway through the third. Recently, NBA All-Star Dwayne Wade visited students at the Heat Academy, a year-round academic program supported and funded by the Miami Heat. Through the Carnival Scholarships program, the Miami Heat awarded 15 of these hard-working high school students full 4-year college scholarships. The NBA, where caring happens. Mark?
Thank you, Craig. The arena scoreboard incorrect. Right there, it is actually the Magic with a 62-58 lead. The scoreboards along the side of the arena do have the correct score, and they're looking to make the correction. The officials over at the table. See the 2 head coaches, Stan Van Gundy and Eric Spoelstra. And apparently the clocks are also wrong. Otherwise, things are just fine. Let's get back to Craig.
Well, Marv, they have a software program that is malfunctioning, so they cannot change the main scoreboard. Right now, if they can't get it fixed in the next few minutes, what they were going to do is turn off the major scoreboard and just go by the ones by the side. But it looks like they are working on it right now, and hopefully they'll have it fixed. Otherwise, we'd have only scores on the side that they would be using because of the software problem upstairs. But apparently we have some great person with the technology that has it fixed.
Doug, you just hate it when there's a software problem. They just did. They made the change, as Craig indicated.
Well, we knew Segs would get to the bottom of it. You see Michael Beasley on the screen there. He's really struggling here once again tonight. Only 1 of 4. He's only played 15 minutes. They need him to get some energy and play well here tonight. He's a big part of this team. They need him to score.
Only 3 of 10 the other night, making his return from the thigh injuries. He's late on the recovery as he lost his balance. Beasley working the post. And there's Beasley coming up short. And Nelson able to penetrate. This time able to bank home the hook. So Jameer Nelson has turned things around after he'd gone a good portion of the first half without taking a shot.
Well, you heard Kenny Smith talking at halftime with Kenny's pictures about Jameer Nelson driving. He has that driving game now going with that three-point shooting because his legs are healthy now. He's lost some weight after the knee surgery, and he's starting to get that pop back in his legs. But when he can get in the paint here, he can either kick or he can do this. He can shoot that little floater, and Jameer Nelson with 4 field goals in the paint tonight.
Foul was committed by Matt Barnes. Non-shooting foul. A give and go. Richardson stripped. Good play by Vince Carter. First 20 minutes, Jameer Nelson without a shot attempt. Last 9 minutes, he has hit 4 of 7 for 8 points. Beasley banks it home.
And he's got to go to work. You know, right now he's got to get himself in this game. You know, sometimes you're away with that injury. You come back, you get a little bit out of sorts. He just got to work himself through this.
Michael Beasley, the number 2 overall pick last year's draft behind Derrick Rose. Double up on Carter, so Lewis is free. Out of the way by Gortat. Another possession for the Magic. Gortat on a pick and roll, gives it up. Barnes, pass broken up, still plenty of time on the clock. Here's Barnes with a fake on Wade. Yes.
Nice play that time, though, by the Orlando Magic. They were very patient. The ball went side to side. Miami actually played good defense. They deflected a couple passes, a little head and shoulder fake by Matt Barnes to get the mid-range jump shot.
Beasley. Matt Barnes with the rebound. 10.6 rebounds for Barnes. Carter able to save that pass. You see her exposed to checking the end line to see if Carter stepped out. Now Carter lost it. Last touch by Miami.
It's an important time of the game right now for the Miami Heat. You've got Dwight Howard, who's essentially sitting out this entire third quarter. Miami had taken the lead. Now Magic up by 6. So Miami does not want this game to get away from them and have to face Howard coming in fresh in that 4th period.
White with 4 fouls. Gortat has 4. Nelson tried to bank it again. Miami down by 6. Wade accelerates. Rebounded by Lewis. So Miami has gone cold here in the 3rd. Carter has a 3-point attack. Rebounded by Lewis. Second consecutive possession that they have had. The offensive rebound and another chance. And Lewis lost it.
Well, look, I'm Eric Spoelstra. I'm a little bit disappointed right now because Orlando is coming up with a hustle play. Is this your home court? You've just lost the game to the San Antonio Spurs where you're down by 26. You fought back to get back in the game. This is an important game. They play this game tonight. Then they've got the Charlotte Bobcats on Saturday. So you're starting to play all these playoff teams at home. These are the games you have to win.
Bobcats won the previous 3 against Miami. Here's Wade. Once again, Wade takes to the rim. He now has 17 points. Nelson trying to pull it back.
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Barnes turns the corner. Wild passing here by
Yes.
Orlando. Nelson. That was an unbelievable shot. At first it appeared he passed to himself.
I've seen him make about 4 or 5 of those tonight. Normally he does not shoot those kind of shots, so he's working on that, obviously that game getting all the way to the rim.
And once again they're having a problem with the main scoreboard. Richardson blocked. Gortat comes up with the rejection. Barnes passed on a 3, and he's fouled. He was pushed along the baseline.
You can see on all the closeouts, Miami, what a closeout is when you're running at a shooter and trying to chase him off the line. But these closeouts, Marv, they're forcing everything baseline. They're trying to keep the Magic out of the middle of the floor. Miami's got a lot of deflections. Orlando's made some wild passes here in this quarter, but somehow they've been able to gather themselves and lead by 6.
Wade on the foul is second. Miami's second team foul. Darrell Wright played well in the first half, has come back. Barnes gets it back to Carter. Shot clock at 3. Lewis. Rebound Barnes.
There's that toughness of Matt Barnes. And I said before, Orlando is not a good offensive rebounding team on the season. They get 10 a game, which is 26th in the league. But tonight they've gone to work here in this third quarter, gotten extra possessions. That's why they're winning.
Here's Arroyo. Carlos Arroyo, 5 for 6 from the field, 11 points. Nice lead for top block by Beasley. Gets it back. They have a new 24. 3 minutes to play here in the third. Nelson into the left hand. Gortat had a shot at it. Joel Anthony, who just checked back in, was able to haul in that rebound. Wade. And a 3-second violation called on Miami.
Well, Joel Anthony thought that Dwayne Wade was going to take that 3. He's got to understand there in that situation, Wade really does not want to shoot the 3-point shot. Sometimes the extra play there, and you get the violation. That's 6 turnovers now for the Miami Heat.
Let's take a look at tonight's United States Marine Corps teamwork play of the game. And we do have a push-ups theme going here, Doug, both outside and inside.
Our guys don't miss a thing, do they? And the real Marine teamwork play of the game was a great hustle play by Darrell Wright. He saves the ball back, and then when you make a hustle play like that, many times you become the recipient on the other end. The great play by Darrell Wright, who gave his team a nice lift in that first half, a lot like he did against San Antonio the other day. Darrell Wright in the ball game right now. Mario Chalmers, along with Dwayne Wade, Haslam, and Joel Anthony.
And for more Marines teamwork play of the game, log on to NBA.com. J.J. Redick back on the floor. Redick on the move and lost it. Wade with the save. 2.5 to play in the third quarter. 6-point lead for the Magic. It has been close throughout. Wade to the rim. Gortat did not want to pick up number 5. Wade has 19.
Now, once he gets a head of steam up and gets in the paint, I mean, you're either going to foul him or he's going to finish.
Lewis tried to kick it back and thought he had a teammate who was right. It was last touched by Darrell Wright.
Now, Gortat, as you said, getting out of the way there, trying to look like he tried to draw the offensive foul. 6 on the shot clock here.
Barnes having trouble finding someone now, gets it in. Lewis for 3. Yes.
Big play. Rashard Lewis, again, we talked about him being one of the keys tonight. Eric Spoelstra talked about that as well. They want to run him off that 3-point line. You run a sideline, or excuse me, an inline out of bounds play against a short clock, and you get a 3.
12 points for Rashard Lewis. That was his second from downtown, and the ball is away from the ball. And it's on the Magic. It's on Lewis. That's his first. Orlando with team foul number 4.
It's a big possession here for Miami. Orlando's trying to close strong. Remember, Howard has been sitting on the bench all but about 30 seconds of this period. He's going to be coming back to start the fourth. Miami needs a hoop.
Here's Wade for three. Yes.
Big shot. And they were looking at possibly being down by double digits. Had Orlando gotten a stop, come down and hit a three, they would have put them back up 10. Now it's back to 4.
Jason Williams with a long three-point attack, rebounded by Haslam. Wade to the fadeaway. Ball down by Lewis. Lewis getting the step. Lewis with the rebound. And he is fouled.
Marv, I'd love to see him do more of that. I think that he's made himself such a home run threat in Orlando, you know, living on that three-point shot. But Marv, if you look on the season, Rashard Lewis has taken 355 threes and 150 free throws. And he's 6'10", and he has the ability to get to the line. We saw him when he was playing in Seattle, post up a little bit, and I'd love to see him mix up his game a little bit more, because then you get to the line, you make a couple free throws, the game is a lot easier for you. And this year he's only had 10 games of 20 or more, only 2 in his last 23. So you know, he's been struggling to make the adjustment. Jameer Nelson hurt, Vince Carter hurt, Turkoglu, who he had a great connection with, is in Toronto now. So I think he probably is a guy who suffered as much with all the changes.
Rashard, an all-star last season, averaged just under 18 a game, and then sat out first 10 games because of the suspension. Wade lost the dribble. Haslam on the recovery.
I think they're going to check Marv to see if there was a change of possession, because they gave him a new shot clock, and I'm not sure there was ever a change of possession on that play.
I think it was a software problem.
Well, the clock's obviously been off and on here tonight.
In fact, the scoreboard once again not working. Ours is. That is the correct score in the right-hand corner.
Let's check it to see if there's a change of possession. Does Orlando get possession? They don't. They never come up with possession. There should not be a new clock, so they're going to have to go over here and see how much time is left on this clock. And what you do is you go back to when Rashard Lewis made the free throws at the dead ball, see how much time was on, and then figure out, you know, from the shot clock where you should take it down to. But they should not have gotten a new clock there.
Look like it's down to about 8.
Down to 4. So I mean, that's a big change there right now. I mean, if Orlando could get a stop here, then Marv looks like they're going to get the last shot of the quarter. So you get a stop here in the score, you could go up 8, possibly 9. So let's see if Miami can get a quick shot.
White looking to inbound. Out of 3. And he turns it over. Barnes is fouled, and will that be a goaltend? That's what Orlando wants.
I think Monty McCutcheon said that the defender took that ball to the backboard. If that ball had hit the backboard, it would have been a goaltend. Let's take a look here. Let's see. There's the trip. Does this ball get to the glass? Oh, it did get to the glass. So Darrell Wright there gets away with a goaltend. Stan Van Gundy does not like it. That could have been a possible three-point play.
2 shots for Barnes. Barnes is 74% free throw shooter. He has had a very strong game. 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists.
Well, they really missed him when he was out. Again, that edginess, that feistiness, that tough defense that he brings. He's a big part of one of the reasons why they have 8 second chance points here in this quarter after only having 2 in the first half.
Wade works it down, looking home for a final shot. Wade changed his mind. Here is Haslam. Yes, beautiful running hook. Final seconds now. Jason Williams. The Magic outscoring the Heat 22-17 in the third quarter. Dwight Howard plays just 12 seconds of the third, picking up that 4th foul. On to the 4th here in Miami. As we head to the fourth quarter, Magic with a 76-71 lead on the Heat. The NBA on TNT, presented by the United States Marine Corps. Moments ago, Craig Sager catching up with Miami head coach Erik Spoelstra.
Well, Coach Dwight Howard picked up his fourth foul 12 seconds into that quarter. Why weren't you able to take advantage of his absence?
Exactly, take care of business down here on the defensive end. It was loose balls, tip balls, offensive rebounds. It was almost like we exhaled.
Michael Beasley, 2 out of 7. Doug mentioned you could use a big contribution from him. Will you go back to the fourth?
Get into the game defensively, making effort plays. It doesn't have to be just about putting the ball in the basket.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
Well, just to follow up on that and what Craig was talking about, the Michael Beasley in that 20 minutes, he has not gotten to the free throw line, 3 rebounds, no assists. So it's not about the points. He needs to bring his energy and toughness to his team here tonight. This is a big game for them as they're trying to come down the stretch here, getting into the playoffs and improving their seeding.
Fourth quarter getting underway, and the ball back to Orlando. You see Michael Beasley's numbers, and Erik Spoelstra keeps telling Michael Beasley you have to be an active participant in your involvement. That's what he's looking for.
Well, sometimes a guy who's a scorer, if he's not scoring, his game lets down in other areas. You've got to pick your energy level up. And here's another offensive rebound in that third quarter. The Magic were +10 rebounding. Miami was +4 in the first half. Now you're +10 with no Dwight Howard on the floor. That's the disturbing thing if you're Erik Spoelstra.
And Howard is back, playing with the 4 fouls. Foul is called on Miami. It was a soft double on Howard. And he felt the contact as Jermaine O'Neal picked up his second.
You sound like a coach there a little bit.
Sorry.
A soft double.
I don't want
Mike
to be in that category.
Fratello is having his.
No.
I mean,
please.
He's got to be smiling listening to about the soft double team.
It wasn't me. That was our statistician Paul Evans doing an impersonation. O'Neal with the steal. Right. Bass with the rebound.
See, with Brandon Bass in the game now instead of Rashard Lewis, the Magic's going to lose a little spacing on the floor, so Brandon Bass's guy is going to be able to help a little bit more on Howard. So look for Haslam to get back in there and help with some rebounding.
Bass about to take the jumper, and a foul is called on Miami. That's 3 on O'Neal. Craig Sager reporting that Jermaine said he's bothered again by that left ankle. Trying to work it off during the last timeout. Our guys don't miss a thing.
No, they don't.
Bass working hard for that shot.
See, that's why they went out to get him. He's a low post player. So you can change your game around. You can put him in the game. He's a little bit more of a power team. They do have Redick out there along with Jason Williams and Carter. So you do have 3-point shooting.
Almost another turnover committed by Orlando. Right followed by Carter. O'Neal with 2 on the shot clock. And a loose ball foul. It is on Bass. Over the back of Haslam.
Right now the focus on the Orlando Magic is to try to do everything they can to help out on Dwayne Wade. Matt Barnes is off the floor right now. There's no Michael Pietrus. So J.J. Redick has the duty of guarding Dwayne Wade. So they're going to have to give a lot of help. Not one guy can guard Dwayne Wade.
Pietrus spraining his ankle last night. Here is Chalmers, and the foul is put down by Wade. Howard had cleared out going for that shot by Chalmers, so Wade was able to take advantage. 5-point Orlando lead. We are early in the fourth. Mark Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. We are in Miami as Bass came up short.
So that's Rashard Lewis. That's a 3. With Brandon Bass, that's a long 2.
Wade looking to clear things out. He's played by Redick. He backs him in. Here's Wade to the fade. Rebounded by Bass.
4 on 5 right now. Somebody's going to get an open shot. It's going to be Vince Carter because Dwayne Wade fell down and they made him pay with a 3.
Wade claims that he was fouled. Miami takes a timeout. Wade upset that there was no call. Timeout. Miami Heat. Vince Carter with his third three. He now has 19 points.
I see JJ working hard here, but could not keep him off the boards. Looks like goes for the shot block, doesn't get it. There's Dwayne Wade with the finish. Carter follows with a three. The Magic by 8.
Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. And Doug, in the East, there are 5 teams battling for those Final Four playoff spots, including the Miami Heat.
Well, you know, look at the schedule, Lamar. Teams under 500 of their 13 games, 11. So they have the most favorable schedule. The Chicago Bulls have been decimated by injuries. Joakim Noah, Lou Alding, Derrick Rose. They traded John Salmons. And help me out, Mark, to Charlotte. They sent Tyrese Thomas.
Right.
So that a lot of their depth is gone. Toronto has been struggling. Milwaukee's been playing great. Now, they had the tough loss last night to the Clippers, but they have a very favorable schedule. Only 6 teams, or excuse me, they have a tough schedule. Only 6 teams under 500.
Although at this point of the season, can you say because you're playing teams under 500 that it's necessarily favorable?
No, because those teams have nothing to lose. I mean, those are going to be teams playing free and easy and another good defensive possession. Marv, only 2 assists here in the second half for Miami. They had 9 in the first half. So they're playing a lot of one-on-one now. The ball is not moving, and they're no longer making shots.
Toronto did win last night against Atlanta. They had lost 5 straight and 9 of 10.
Yeah, Chris Bosh hit a jump shot with 2 seconds to go to win that game by 1.
Howard unable to finish. And the Heat just 3 and 9 combined against the teams that they are chasing for those final playoff spots. Another Miami miss. They are really struggling here in the fourth quarter. Just 1 of 8 from the field. Redick kicks it out. Carter is wide open for 3. Rebound swept by Haslam. Miami has lost the season series already to Charlotte. Wade called for the offensive foul. It's a charge as Redick was able to take the hit.
JJ's done a nice job now with Barnes being out of the game. He's forced Wade to take a couple tough shots, and he read his move perfectly. He knows Wade loves to step left in this situation, and he gets him right in the chest. Dwayne Wade not happy with the call. Coach K is. He would love to see that with JJ taking that charge like that on Dwayne Wade.
That's 4 fouls on Wade. Carter played by Wright, now picked up by O'Neal. Shot clock to 6. Here's Carter. Beautiful move. Got the step.
Now, do you think he would have done that 6 weeks ago? I think he would have shot a fading jump shot and made it very difficult. He drove and he finished. Both he and Jameer Nelson both tonight have done a better job of that.
Vince Carter with a difficult month of January and most of February because of that sprained shoulder. The tip missed by O'Neal. Comes to Wade. Shoots for 3. Yes. Seven-point Orlando lead. Dwayne Wade has 27. Much time remaining, just under 7 left in the fourth. Carter from downtown. Good job by Howard. And then it's deflected out of his hands. Last touch by Miami.
No, Howard, the one offensive rebounder on their team, but this is the strong move by Vince Carter going against the clock. Jermaine O'Neal tries to step over, does not get there in time, and then finished by Carter. So another offensive rebound, another 24-second shot clock. Rashard Lewis in the game for Brandon Bass. He is rested and ready to go. So let's see if he can finish strong.
(83-76) Orlando. They've led by as many as 10. Lewis for 3. Rashard Lewis off the bench and able to knock down the corner 3.
Now that's 2 inline out of bounds plays they've had, Marv, that they've gotten 3 points off, or 3-point shots off. So that's 6 points in a 10-point game off of inline out of bounds plays.
Beasley the line by Wright. Wade from the same spot for three, this time too long. Howard with the save. Good hustle by Dwight Howard.
But again, it's 4-on-5 here. He dove for a steal, and let's see if they make him play. Beautiful play by Anthony.
Joel Anthony sending one back on Jason Williams.
How many times have we seen Dwayne Wade fall down at the end of a play tonight and put his team in peril here with a 4-on-5 break? That time Anthony does a nice job blocking that shot.
Orlando with 2 power plays going here this evening. It is time for the Burger King double-double. Let's take a look at Dwight Howard's last 4 seasons.
Well, he does not have a double-double tonight because of the foul trouble, but a key guy does, and that's Rashard Lewis. He has 17 points and 10 rebounds, just hit a big 3 after getting a nice rest on the bench. And Barb, when you look at the Miami Heat shooting here in this 4th period, Dwayne Wade is 2 of 4 for 5 points. He has that offensive rebound, and he had a 3 offensive rebound. The rest of his team, 0 of 9.
Miami overall just 2 of 13 from the field here on the 4th. Carter is off, rebounded by Wade. 10-point lead for the Magic. Wade puts the speed on and kicks it out. Carter is on right. Beasley for 3.
They'll live with that, Barb. When you look at Michael Beasley on the season, he's a 28% three-point shooter. He's now 2 of 9 from the floor. I know he's been struggling with a leg, but he's sort of drifted through this game tonight mentally. He has never been involved.
Not only 2 of 9, just 3 rebounds. Howard getting in deep, and Anthony making the good play. Not allowing the shot. Picked up the foul. Joel Anthony with his 3rd. As we look ahead to national coverage of the NBA, Friday on NBA TV, the Celtics and the Rockets. Coverage starts 8 o'clock East time. And you can log on to NBA.com/NBA TV to vote for the Tuesday Fan Night game. Voting ends at midnight Eastern time. Tonight and Sunday on ESPN, Spurs and Hawks, followed by the Blazers and the Suns. First free throws of this 4th quarter for either team. Howard now 2 of 4 at the line. So the number is 8.7 rebounds in just 22 minutes.
Well, we always talk about who's going to help Dwayne Wade here. The rest of his team 0 of 9 in the 4th period. They had 54 points at half as Wright loads up the 3. They only have 22 here in the 2nd half. That's the struggle to score defensively and Orlando's terrific defense.
Beautiful pass from Beasley, finding Anthony. The Orlando lead is back to 10. The Magic trying to make it 10 wins. The last 11 games, they had that 8-game win streak. The 1 loss to the Bobcats at home. Nelson rebounded by Wright. While Miami has won 6 of its last 8. And they're now 2 over the 500 mark. 35 and 33 as Chalmers connects from downtown.
Well, finally a little help for Dwayne Wade. You get the Joel Anthony dunk, the Chalmers 3, right back in this ball game now, down only 7. Can their defense dig in and get some stops?
Foul committed by Wright. That is his 2nd. And 4th team foul called on the Heat.
That's one of the things, see, when Dwight Howard gets fouled in the paint, to get a chance to get in that penalty a little sooner. Let's see if the Magic can take advantage of it and get to the line.
Just under 4 minutes to play in the 4th. Wright digging in on Carter. Shot clock to 2. Carter. Wade with the lead, and Beasley did not expect it.
He just has not been in this game mentally. He just has not been there. Had those things happen, Marv, when you're not sharp. Get a chance to make a play there, and he just wasn't able to handle it.
See, Dwayne Wade was upset. Beasley ahead of the field. That was an easy 2. 7-point lead for Orlando. Nelson thought he was fouled. He has to be careful. He already has a technical. And it's a 24-second violation. Good job by the Heat.
Well, see, Jameer Nelson was upset. He thought he got fouled. So they gave the ball up at the end of the clock to J.J. Redick, and they just swarmed him. Watch him as he goes over the screen. He felt like that Chalmers got away right there with grabbing his right arm. That would have been 2 free throws and led to 14 fouls in the Miami Heat.
Oh, Wade saw that coming and nearly hit. Beautiful fake. He got Redick to move into him. Redick with the foul. And the question is, was it 3-point range? The officials huddled up to discuss it.
Great shot fake here by Dwayne Wade, and J.J. Redick is in the air, and he goes, I know I just made a mistake. Dwayne Wade is going to make me pay for this.
And they'll go to the replay to see if Wade was beyond that 3-point line.
His foot steps in, so that's going to be a 2.
The lead official, Monty McCutcheon, says yes, it was a 2-point attempt, so Dwayne Wade will have 2 free throws with 3 minutes 7 seconds to play here in the 4th. And Miami trying to come back into it, down now by 7. They trailed moments ago by 12.
You know, it's interesting that Stan Van Gundy has kept J.J. Redick in the game. I guess for his offense out there, Matt Barnes on the bench. Matt Barnes has had a very good game tonight, 13 points and 7 rebounds, but he's leaving J.J. Redick out there to be matched up with Dwayne Wade.
Wade is now 6 of 6 at the line. Jermaine O'Neal will come on for Joel Anthony. Jermaine O'Neal had an outstanding first half, very quiet second half, 4 blocked shots in the first half.
I wonder if that foot is really bothering that he's gone in to get taped, and we saw him stretching a while ago, trying to stay loose.
.29 for Wade. 7-0 run by Miami. Orlando without a field goal the last 3.5 minutes. Lewis for 3. Rebounded by Wade. Wade getting the step. Oh, what a pass, but Wright could not finish it. He thought he was fouled. What a beautiful pass from Dwayne Wade. They converged on Howard, and a foul is called. And that will put Dwight Howard at the line. Miami now over the foul limit. 2.5 left. In this 4th quarter, 5-point lead for Orlando. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. We'll be back here in Miami in a moment. Back at your keys to the game in our setup at the start of tonight's telecast.
Well, Stan worried about a back-to-back. They're 8-8 in back-to-back. They got off to a great start. Shot 63% in the first quarter. Defend the paint. They're +10 in the paint. 3-point shooting. They're +12 from 3. And my 2 wild cards. Lewis tonight, 17 points and 11 rebounds. And then Michael Beasley, 4 points, but only 3 rebounds and 1 assist, 2 turnovers, only 4 points. So if this game holds out the way it is, Orlando holds on to win this game. You can see that they've won most of those categories.
This is the first of our TNT doubleheader. Game 2 coming up. New Orleans playing at Denver. Nuggets have won 7 of the last 10 as they battled it out with Dallas for the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Dick Stockton, Reggie Miller, Cheryl Miller will have it for you from the Mile High City as Dwight Howard back at the line. Only a 60% free throw shooter, and now 2 of 5 at the foul line.
This is a big shot, obviously, would make it a 6-point lead. 2 threes in would only tie you. Still a lot of time to go in this game.
So Howard misses on both. Miami with the ball, down by 5. Matt Barnes has returned, coming on for J.J. Redick. Wade for 3. Beasley able to get to it and lost as Nelson took it out of his hands. Nelson on the move. Rebounded by Wade. Here comes Chalmers. Right. Yes.
That's amazing, isn't it? When you miss a layup, how often you pay for it in the other end. It's just, the game is amazing. When you miss an easy shot like that, you always pay for it.
9-0 run for Miami. Lewis for 3. Miami ball, 1:40 to go here in the 4th. The Heat coming back from a 12-point deficit. Chalmers with a deep 3, yes! And the game is tied.
What an amazing run here. And they've done it with their defense, Marv. Their defense has been brilliant.
Jameer Nelson high off glass to give the Magic a 2-point lead, and Eric Spoelstra wants to talk it over. That ends the 12-0 run. Miami with 12 unanswered within 3 minutes, 15 seconds.
Mario Chalmers hit 2 big threes, having an NCAA flashback when he was at Kansas. Hit that 3 to send it in overtime. They win a national championship deep behind that 3-point line. Ronnie Rothstein and the Miami coaching staff very upset. They thought that the Magic moved on that screen that freed up Jameer Nelson.
Go back to Marv and Doug and Siggs.
All right, thank you, Ernie. Minute 21 left, 4th quarter. And Orlando up by 2.
This is a play that I was talking about that the Miami Heat coaches were upset about. They felt that Vince Carter moved on that screen throughout his hip to free up Jameer Nelson for this tough drive over Jermaine O'Neal. We went into the timeout. They let the referees know, but no call on that play.
Here's Wade. Beautiful crossover around Barnes. Yes, and the foul. What a move by Dwayne Wade.
Well, if you get beat on the play, you're probably thinking Dwight Howard is going to be there. But he can't get there soon enough, and the last thing you want to do is commit a touch foul. Reaches in here at the last moment. There's the touch foul, and Howard cannot get over there quickly enough to defend that shot. How about the Miami Heat battling back, cannot take the lead as he misses the free throw.
Wade had hit his previous 7 at the line, so the game is tied at 90. Coming up on a minute remaining here in the 4th. Howard rejected by O'Neal. Block number 5. Season high in that department for Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, beautiful block. And remember now, the Orlando Magic have 6 points on 2 in-line out-of-bounds plays. Like I said, hit 2 threes. So Miami has got a D up here.
Barnes will throw in. 11 on the shot clock. Carter, played by Wright. Carter, yes! Orlando 92, Miami 90. Final minute, 4th quarter.
Well, that's why they went out and got Vince Carter for a play just like that.
23 points for Carter. Wade for 3 and the lead! What a magnificent performance by Dwayne Wade. He now has 34. Miami with its first lead since early 3rd quarter, up by 1 with 49 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Dwayne Wade from downtown. (93-92) lead, Miami over Orlando. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Dwayne Wade with a magnificent 4th quarter, 12.7 rebounds, 2 assists here in the 4th.
And Mark, remember this quarter started out with his teammates being 0 for 9. He had only made 2 field goals, so what a brilliant performance. 34 points on 24 shots. Can they get a defensive stop?
Carter played by Wade. Here's Carter. Barnes for three, overshot. Oh, good hustle by Jameer Nelson. Was able to tear it away from Mario Chalmers, and a foul on Chalmers. Both clubs over the foul limit. That's 4 on Chalmers. And Nelson to the line.
What a great hustle play by Jameer Nelson. You saw the strength in his hands on that play. Mario Chalmers looks like he had it, and Jameer Nelson just ripped it away from him. Let's see if Jameer Nelson can cash in here with 2 free throws.
84% free throw shooter. First appearance at the line tonight. With 5 minutes remaining here in the fourth, Orlando led 88-76 for their biggest lead of the game. Since then, Miami has outscored Orlando 17-4. We're down to 40 seconds to go. And the game is tied at 93.
Well, you know who's going to have the ball? Dwayne Wade. Can Matt Barnes and the Orlando Magic find a way to get it out of his hands or to get a stop? They're going to double team and trap him.
Wade gives it up. There is Beasley. And he hits.
The guy who all night has not been around. 2 for 9 before he takes that shot. That could be the game winner.
Timeout called by Stan Van Gundy. The Heat with a 95-93 lead on the Magic. We'll be right back.
Ernie Johnson, quick little game break here to let you know that the Nuggets and the Hornets are underway. Denver with the first 2. A minute gone in that game. We'll take you to Denver as soon as they're done in Miami. We send you back now to Marv Albert.
Thank you, Ernie. 27 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. 95-93. Miami with the lead over Orlando, and the Magic in possession.
Well, defend the three-point line. A 3 beats you. A 2 only ties you, so don't give up any open threes.
2-second differential between game clock and shot clock. Carter comes off the pick. Nelson pulls it back on Chalmers and hits. Jameer Nelson with a clutch shot. Tied at 95. We're down to 10 seconds. They'll play it out. Down to 5. Beasley with the move rejected by Howard. It'll be Miami ball.
Now, Miami's going to get a break here, Marv. That ball was tipped. What were they calling? That ball was blocked.
Well, first they were saying, no, it's Orlando ball, but it'll be Miami's side out, I would think.
But see, I think they might be going to get a break here because I think with that ball hitting the stanchion, they're going to get it on the side rather than underneath, so they'll be able to see more of the court. But you saw what they did on that play, Marv. They just ran Rashard Lewis in a pre-trap. They ran at him early. There's the block shot, and it hits the back of the stanchion right there. See, initially they didn't see it hit the stanchion, and they thought that the Orlando Magic had saved the ball. So the referees got together, conferred, and got the call right.
It appeared that Monty McCutcheon then said, no, it is Miami ball. Each team with a 20-second timeout remaining. We're down to 3 4/10 seconds left in regulation.
This one has been one of the better NBA games we've done this year, Bob. This has been a well-played game. I mean, the Miami Heat, what they've done here to come back in this game, it looked like they were dead. Orlando had control of the game, and they came back here with a terrific defensive effort. Mario Chalmers has hit a couple big shots, and Dwayne Wade has been spectacular just to give this team a chance to win this ball game.
It's an excellent first half. Things did taper off in the third quarter, picked up again in the fourth. Orlando was able to build to a 12-point lead. And then Miami right back with that 17-4 run. Dwayne Wade with 34 points. 12 have come in the fourth quarter. Vince Carter leads the Magic with 23. Rashard Lewis, 17 points, and is equal to season high with 11 rebounds. But Dwight Howard, who has been plagued by fouls throughout the season series between these two clubs, picked up 4 Number 4 early in the third, sat out the entire third quarter, and he has not been a factor. Just 3 of 9 from the field and 2 of 6 at the foul line.
Well, he was 10 for 23 going into the game, so that makes him 13 for 32 now. Marvy was averaging 12, only 8 tonight, so averaging about 11 points in the 4 games now played against the Miami Heat. They've done a nice job on him, and the foul trouble has really hurt him.
Incidentally, that last play, not a reviewable call in terms of looking at the videotape, looking at a replay, and they had to make that decision between each other. We're talking about the officiating crew, and it will be Miami back in possession.
But see, Marv, they get it on the side here because the ball hit the stanchion. I think it's going to be a little easier place for them to find a put. They're going to be able to see more of the floor than if they were pinned in underneath the basket.
The game is tied at 95. Wade for the win. And we're headed to overtime.
Well, it should be overtime. The way this game is played, to have 5 more minutes, you and I are going to be very blessed to be able to watch this. But Orlando Magic did a nice job there defending. Howard coming over, really forcing a tough shot.
Orlando and Miami tied at 95. We've had 13 ties, 12 lead changes. Dwayne Wade outstanding with 34 points, 9 rebounds. Dwight Howard in foul trouble, just 3 of 9, 8 points, 2 of 6 at the line. For Orlando, only their second overtime game of the season. They had a win at Charlotte early on. Miami, 2 up and 1 down. They won at Memphis in double overtime. Lost at home against Boston 2 weeks ago. And here on TNT, they defeated the Lakers in overtime.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to be able to find a way, Orlando? The freshest guy on the floor right now should be Dwight Howard. He's only played 27 minutes tonight because of the foul trouble. Can he find a way to spring himself loose in this overtime? He missed 2 critical free throws in the fourth quarter. Jameer Nelson missed 1, so 3 free throw misses there late enabled Miami to get this game into OT.
The Heat ending regulation with a 19-7 spurt over the last 5 minutes. Orlando controlling as this 5-minute overtime session gets underway. Carter played by Wade. Wade has 4 fouls. Chalmers on the 6'10 Lewis. And a foul.
See, I like that. They got the switch. Chalmers switched off on Rashard Lewis, and he went into the post. And Marv, I talked about that. But when he was in Seattle, he did a lot more of that. And with the way they play now with Dwight Howard in the block, they use him more behind that 3-point line. But he has that capability to get down there and score.
5 on Chalmers. Lewis 2 of 2 at the line, 80% for the season. The Magic by 1. Once again, we check in with Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
Thank you, Marv. Just past the halfway point of the first quarter, the Denver Nuggets and the New Orleans Hornets, and right now it is a 13-10 Denver lead. Carmelo Anthony just 1 basket in 2 attempts. David West leading New Orleans with 6 on 3 of 7 shooting. A 13-10 game, and we'll take you there again as soon as they're done in Miami. Back to you.
Thank you, Ernie. And Jermaine O'Neal with the touch to tie the game at 97.
Well, you can see what's happening. Rashard Lewis now just coming up and double-team Dwayne Wade as he's coming over a half court. He's going to force him to give the ball up. So someone's going to have to make some shots just like Jermaine O'Neal did on that play.
Shot clock to 7. Carter over O'Neal. Kept alive by Barnes. Once again, a good hustle play by Matt Barnes. Nelson using the pick. Carter for 3. Rebound to Howard. And he is fouled.
That was a great pass by Jameer Nelson. He drove inside, and he made a left-handed hook pass a la Steve Nash along the baseline to find Vince Carter, and then the offensive rebound. Watch this left-handed hook pass. Vince Carter had a wide-open look at the shot, didn't knock it down, but once again, the offensive rebounding. We expected from Dwight Howard, but Matt Barnes got one on that same possession.
That was number 5 on O'Neal. And look at the foul trouble. Howard and Gortat, who's back up, each have 4, 5 apiece on O'Neal and Chalmers. Wade with 4. So Howard now 3 of 7 at the line. The Magic by 1. He's almost a two-handed shot from the line by Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and he really doesn't have any extension or follow-through. He's sort of a snappy shot, so sometimes he gets a little wristy with that. Under pressure, that's when it really gets you.
Chalmers open for 3. Rebounded by Barnes. Barnes, 13 points, 9 rebounds. Rashard Lewis, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Nelson with a deep 3. Hustled down by Wade, and he is blocked. Foul on Nelson.
Very lucky that time that Jameer Nelson was able to get over and get his hands on Dwayne Wade. That would have been an easy layup. Had Wade been able to throw that ball ahead, it will not be a clear path because Jameer Nelson is ahead of him. And Mario Chalmers was going to have an easy layup on that play.
.320 left in the 5-minute overtime. 99-97 Orlando. Marv Albert, Doug Collins, Craig Sager. From American Airlines Arena in South Florida. Here's Beasley off the setup from Wade and a foul. So Beasley to the line.
We can see what looks like it's going to be a technical foul here on Dwight Howard. That'll be his 15th, right, Marv? 1 away from a suspension.
Well, it's number 5 for the night, and yes, number 15, as he had something to say, and what an inopportune time to pick up a technical.
3 free throws now. I mean, this is, you can't. Clearly came down on his arm, and you watch him right here as he throws the ball up. And when it goes over your head like that, they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. But Darrell Wright steps up and makes the technical foul, and you see Stan Van Gundy say, calm down. But now Beasley will have 2 free throws to give the Miami Heat the lead.
How about Darrell Wright, who has hit 43 of 46 at the line for the season? He's right around 95%.
Had you not said that, I would have never guessed that he was that good of a free throw shooter.
That's Jose Calderon territory from a year ago.
Yes, it is. But Darrell Wright is a very important part of this team, and we talked about it earlier, Marv. He had the 2-game suspension. He was picked up in the suspicion of DUI, and he said, I owe my team. They've been great to me. I owe them. I'm going to come back and show them that I'm going to be a stable player. They can count on me. Tonight he's done a nice job. Beasley knocks in the 2, and 3 free throws. They take a 1-point lead.
Down to 3 minutes left in overtime. Carter contested by Wright. Oh, Howard able to battle for it. Lewis for 3.
The easiest 3. Off the bound, relocate, kick it out.
Now they say a 2. He had a
long 2, okay.
Foot on the line. Magic by 1. Wade for 3. Now Wade is not a guy who excels from three-point land, although he's hit a couple here tonight. He's just 29% shooting at 3, but has that's the way things have gone for him this evening.
Got to be getting a little tired too. He's played heavy minutes, and he just put this team on his shoulders to bring them back.
Carter, he is fouled, yes, and it counts. The foul on Wright. Vince Carter with a back-end move, a strong move, was able to hit. Fouled by Wright, who collects his 3rd, and Carter will go to the line.
Well, one of the money plays that Stan Van Gundy has used here over the last probably 15-20 games for the Magic is that little screen roll with Jameer Nelson and Carter trying to get a switch and then going into the post to take advantage of that. Vince Carter going in on that play, although he didn't get the switch, and we'll get the 3-point play.
26 points for Vince Carter. 4-point Orlando lead. Miami takes a timeout with 2:13 left in OT. It'll be Miami ball. They now trail by 4. They came from way back in the 4th quarter, down by as many as 12. Beautiful play by Vince Carter just a moment ago to hit the shot, through the foul. 3-point play for Carter. And we're down to 2:13 left in overtime.
Well, one of the things the Magic have done, they've sold themselves out here in the last few minutes. And anytime Wade brings the ball up the court, Rashard Lewis is just leaving his man. They're double teaming him. They're going to try to force him to get the ball out of his hands. So the little adjustment that Eric Spoelstra made, he sort of zippered him. He dribbled him to the top of the floor and then hit him to where he could go attack. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get any opportunities to play without immediately getting double teamed here over the last 2 more minutes of this game.
Eric Spoelstra talking with assistant coach Ron Rolfstein. Miami remains the same. Chalmers playing at the 5. Wade watched by Barnes. Right for 3. The tip missed by Beasley, but able to control. O'Neal rebounded by Nelson.
That's exactly what Orlando wants. They want somebody other than Dwayne Wade beating them right now. That's good basketball. That pick and roll once again with Carter and Jameer Nelson.
Lewis is open, but we get a whistle before the shot. Foul is called on Chalmers, and that is number 6.
You know, one of the first coaches to use that 1-2 pick and roll between your point guard and your 2 guard was Chuck Daly. When Chuck Daly played for the Detroit Pistons, he used to run that with Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas all the time. And it was a tough play to try to guard.
Vince Carter back to the line with 1:36 remaining in overtime. Again, we check in with Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
And with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first quarter, they're in a timeout at Pepsi Center. Denver leading New Orleans 17-15. Carmelo Anthony has 6. David West has 8. And we'll take you there when this game is over. But unfortunately for Dick Stockton and Reggie Miller, they will only be paid for 3/4 of work tonight. Back to you.
And I think that's actually all they deserve. I mean, they're sitting around, they're doing nothing.
Well, you get a little bit for doing the international fee, so you get a little bit for that, right? Usually I just sort of sit back and let the play-by-play guy just rest a little bit.
Really?
Yes, just let the play-by-play guy carry the international fee.
So that's like someone who really doesn't play in preseason.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter, I'm just coming back.
Practice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Practice, I know.
Vince Carter upset with himself for missing that first, but hits 1 of 2. And Orlando now leads at 105-100. And Miami taking that timeout. They are down to 1 timeout remaining. It's a 5-point Magic lead. They have taken command here in overtime. And you see the Heat with just 1 timeout left. Miami has won 6 of its last 8. They are home for Charlotte to finish up the 6-game homestand. That's coming up Saturday night. Monday at New Jersey. Next Thursday at Chicago. So 3 straight on the road. In fact, they have 6 of 7 on the road after this homestand.
And you can see all those teams other than New Jersey are in that 5-9 spot. That's why it's going to be so important how you finish this season.
Here is Wade kicking it out. Quentin Richardson has come on for Mario Chalmers. Quentin's been sitting a long time. Here's Beasley. Lost it. Put it on the floor and was stripped. We're down to 1:10 left in overtime. Nelson. Orlando in no hurry with the 5-point lead. Now Nelson fires for 3. And Miami has to push it here. Time is running out. Final minute. Down by 5. Wade to the rim. Draws the foul. So he will shoot 2.
Well, the last thing that Stan Van Gundy wants is a touch foul for a 3-point play. You get him inside, Marv, you get him inside the 3-point line. Make him take a tough 2. He reached in and got the foul. It makes it a 1-possession game on a 3-point play. It does anyway, but it's much tougher to get a 3 than it is a 2.
Foul on Bonner. That is number 4. Wade is 7 of 8 at the line. Coming up for Orlando Monday night, they're in Philadelphia. Wednesday night at Atlanta. This is game 1 of a 3-game road trip.
It's going to be a tough loss for the Miami Heat. It looked like they were going to fight back, Marv, and maybe steal one. Wade was brilliant. Chalmers hit a couple big threes, but in that fourth quarter, that overtime period, Rashard Lewis with 7 points. And it's going to be his third game in the last 24 where he's had 20 or more back-to-back games here now. He's starting to get his stroke back.
So that's 10 wins the last 11 games for the Magic. They are now 49-21, second best record in the East. Apparently there is some time still on the clock. And Miami will just toss it in. They dropped to 35-34. They've come in winners of 6 of their last 8 games. 36 for Dwayne Wade with 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Vince Carter, the high man for the Magic, with 27, and Rashard Lewis with 24 and 11, 7 of the 24 coming in overtime. Thanks to our producer, Scott Cockerell, director Lonnie Dale, our statistician, Paul Evans. Final score in overtime, the Magic 108 and the Heat 102 coming up. Hornets and Nuggets for Craig Sager and Doug Collins. Marv Albert saying good night from Miami.